Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. I know this video is coming out a little bit late, but I just needed more time to process the fact that we basically got a whole new Animal Crossing game, okay? I did end up streaming my reaction on my channel, and my boyfriend Tal was also there for moral support, so if you want to watch that, I am keeping that up on my channel. Earphone users, you've been warned. So anyways, by no means am I an Animal Crossing news anchor, and I know you guys have probably seen all these videos already, but I thought it would still be fun to just discuss the top things that stood out to me personally from the direct. And if you made it to this point in my intro, I want you to comment down below your favorite parts of the direct, because I already have a few guesses for consistent long-time viewers, and I want to see if I know y'all as well as I think I do. So let's start with the first one. We're gonna start with cooking. All right, when I saw cooking, there's cooking. When I saw cooking, I feel like that was the moment that I realized Nintendo was serving us a full course meal with this update. I know I've said this in another video, and I know I've said this a million times, but this is exactly what I thought would never come to the game outside of the Turkey Day event, you know? So I was just really shocked. I'm sure you guys are still in shock too. It's just, we've never had cooking on an Animal Crossing game, so this is insane to me. I love the fact that we use crops as our ingredients to cook meals, the same way that we use materials to craft items. I think that's amazing. That's exactly what I pictured when I pictured cooking on Animal Crossing. I think they did it perfectly. And speaking of crops for ingredients, I'm just gonna casually transition into crops, because the next thing I wanted to address was the fact that they're adding tomatoes, potatoes, sugarcane, carrots, and more. We're not really sure what the more part means yet, unless something comes out about it before my video does, then just ignore me. But obviously I have to talk about crops, because without crops we wouldn't have cooking. And hello, look how cute those tomatoes are. Ketchup can finally have her dream garden. There's so much we're gonna be able to do now. They serve not only like an aesthetic for our farms, but they serve a purpose for our cooking. The next thing I want to talk about is Brewster, because he is still one of my all-time favorite NPCs, right up there with KK Slider. Just as we all felt during this direct, I did feel amazing about all the new features we were gaining, but I also felt kind of bad for Brewster. I feel like the show was almost stolen from him on his birthday to make things worse for him, but I refuse to forget about how amazing it is that he's coming back with the roost. I know this is a more obvious thing that we were all excited about. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like Brewster lost that spotlight that he had, and I don't know, I guess this is my way of bringing the spotlight back on him. I don't know. We gotta still hype our brew baby up, okay? Next thing I want to talk about is Harv's Island expansion. This is insane. Like, this is incredible, because not only will old NPCs be coming back, but NPCs that have already made it to the New Horizons game will have permanent shops built for them. I'm so happy for them. I don't know. This being said, my personal favorite old NPC that they announced was most definitely Harriet. It just brings me back so much nostalgia thinking about the old times in City Folk, where I would log on with that atrocious bedhead, and I remember specifically just visiting the city for Harriet herself at Shampoodle and just like being so happy. That was like, I would literally go all the way to the city just for Shampoodle. While we're on the subject of nostalgia, Harv's Island expansion really makes it feel like you're visiting the city just like we would, you know, in City Folk. So that's super exciting. It brings back that element to the game where you can like leave and go somewhere that actually has a lot of stuff to do and a lot of things to see, a lot of people to see. So next I want to talk about Happy Home Paradise. Now this is the DLC, which they did say would be $24.99, and the day that we can pre-order it is October 29th. You bet your butts I'm gonna be doing that. Nintendo, just take my money now. I think that's an amazing deal for basically a whole new game, and it's just so good. It's so good. They kind of described how our goal would be to create dream vacation homes for villagers and NPCs, which is absolutely beautiful in my opinion, considering I love the tropical vacation aspect of it all. It's a really great way to combine the themes of Happy Home Designer with New Horizons, basically just like combining them into one game. We also get to decorate their homes inside and out just the way we want to, with the season we want, the weather we want, and the time of day we want. How crazy is that? Everyone is gonna have an Animal Crossing Instagram after this. We can also use our amiibos to invite specific dreamies, so that's really fun. On top of that, we have other buildings we can customize. They showed a school, a restaurant, a hospital, and also we get a whole new app. This app is called Happy Home Network, and this is, I guess, where we're going to be following each other, sharing our designs with each other, liking each other's stuff. So basically like, you know, normal social media stuff, which is so interesting. It's so good. Next, I want to talk about the new villagers. I know that you all saw those cute new villagers and everyone's already claimed their new dreamy, reserved a spot on the island for them. Maybe you're even already making a little shrine area for them, who knows? But I'm not going to spend this video talking about all of them because that would just take too long, so I might just make a separate video on that. But all I know is Rio has already won my heart. I never saw her in the old games, but apparently she's not technically new. She's a peppy ostrich villager from Brazil that has been brought back to New Horizons from old games, and I don't know, the moment I saw her, I loved her so much, and she's the one that stood out to me personally. I love her. So let me know who your favorite new villager is. The only thing I'm wondering is if we're gonna be able to invite them through the mystery islands, because if not, we're gonna have another Target fiasco, and that's gonna be interesting. Next thing I want to talk about is the expanded storage shed. I'm putting this into one category. This part I almost missed as I accidentally muted the video out of excitement, but our home storage has now been expanded to 5,000. Not just that, but we have a storage shed now. Y'all know what this means. When our pockets are full while we're decorating, which they inevitably will be, we can simply just go to our storage shed, take things in and out of our home while not having to actually be inside our home. So at the end of the day, I feel like this feature will make flattening so much easier. On top of this, there's also apparently going to be a Bell's ATM that can be placed anywhere too, so you don't have to run to your resident services bank every time you go broke. Essentially, what they've done with all these new features is they've made all of these things that we use on a daily, they've made them all on the go. Another thing I want to talk about is walking between narrow spaces. I know there's been some hype behind this, but I feel like there is not enough hype, because this is something that people complained about a lot. This is where aesthetic over function came to play in the game, but now we may not need to choose one over the other with this new feature. And I feel like this really caters to that cluttercore aesthetic that many of us really love. So I think this was so sweet that they added this and they included this, and I think it's gonna benefit us playing the game so much in the long run. Next, I want to talk about the music box and the new KK Slider songs. So not only are they coming out with 11 new KK songs, but there's also going to be a music box item, which basically plays them to be more simplified versions of the song, and it also just sounds like a really pretty lullaby almost, and I think it's such a cute addition to New Horizons. It's beautiful. I haven't heard many players talk about it, but I'm personally just excited for this because KK Slider is one of my all-time favorite NPCs, and I feel like it just adds more charm to his character. So now that I talked about the things that made me most excited for the update, I want to add one little complaint just to make people mad. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe this isn't really a complaint, but more of a, oh my god, what am I going to do with this overwhelming amount of amazingness in this update? But one thing they didn't add is more villager plots, but they did add more villagers to choose from. So as if it wasn't hard enough already to narrow down your villager choices, I definitely don't know what I'm going to do now, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure it'll be great. This isn't a huge complaint, just the only thing that I could even think of as a complaint. I wanted to put all of my honest thoughts about the update as a whole in this video. Also, I want to mention that there's a sushi item. Okay, I know there's a ton of items, so many items, and I was going to include this in cooking, but I think this is a furniture item, not a cooking thing. I don't have time to talk about all the items that I saw, but the sushi item, incredible, stood out to me the most. I'm so excited about that. But yeah, overall, these are my personal honest opinions of the direct. Anything that wasn't mentioned just means it didn't stand out to me as much or wasn't personally important to me. So keep that in mind. It's all subjective. There's also a slim chance that I may have totally just forgotten about something that made me excited, but hey, again, let me know in the comments what you're most excited for. Thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. I hope you give this video a like. If you did enjoy it, make sure to subscribe if you want to help support my little channel during these amazing times, or just want to keep up with me, and I hope to see you all in my next video or stream. Bye!